Today, inflation dropped to its lowest level in 3.5 years. Illegal border crossings are now down to about zero. Gas is back down to below $3 a gallon. Mortgage rates have dropped for 6 straight weeks. Jobs are up. Unemployment's down. $2 trillion in private money is being invested in America. DEI is dead. The government's more efficient. And Ukraine's agreed to a ceasefire. But Bernie Sanders says he's scared.
These are, the scariest times in my lifetime. That's all. I mean, I think that's objectively the truth. He is now trying to end what the founding fathers were pretty smart about, creating a form of government where there were checks and balances, a legislative body, an executive body, and a judiciary.
What is Bernie, like 100? He's lived through the Cuban Missile Crisis, 9/11, COVID, and he's scared of the golden age? No. When Hillary told him to drop out or else, that was scarier. But even scarier is being stranded in outer space. Biden left 2 astronauts floating around up there. Elon offered to save them last year, but Biden said no. He didn't want Musk getting credit for the rescue, so he just let him hover. And now, 9 months later, Elon's sending a rocket up to bring him home. But Bernie's mad Musk has the money for the rocket.
It is not just they want to give tax breaks to billionaires and cut programs for working people. Frankly, that's happened before. Yeah. But you combine that with the power of the oligarchy in general. You combine that with Mr. Musk owning Twitter and able to send out his messages to hundreds of millions of people. It's not only the power of money, it's also combined with that, the movement toward authoritarianism.
Elon saving stranded astronauts with SpaceX, saving Ukraine with Starlink, and saving free speech with X. But Bernie's mad Musk's megaphone is bigger than his. It's not the size of the megaphone, Bern. It's what you say into it. And what are these programs for working people Musk's cutting? Could it be the $750,000 to examine social networks among Black and Latino sexual minority men in New Jersey? Or $700,000 to study cannabis use among sexual minority gender diverse individuals? $100,000 for assessing sexual health for gay Latinos in the agriculture community? $600,000 for teen pregnancy prevention for trans boys. Thank God. No more boys are getting pregnant. It's an epidemic. Democrats used to be down with DOGE.
Yes, you do have to cut some programs. I think there's waste out there. I think there are programs that can and should be cut.
Again, we all agree we have to get rid of waste, fraud, abuse, duplication, obsolescence, and the rest. The GAO has given us a blueprint for that, and we subscribe to that. We all agree that we must reduce the deficit.
There's tremendous waste in government, and I think any Democrat who ignores the lessons, the lessons of those who voted, the lessons of the last election, makes a mistake. The people did want government to cut out the waste and to shrink.
Everything Trump does, Democrats must oppose. Got to oppose DOGE. They must restore teen boy pregnancy prevention. Trump made Democrats hate EVs. Getting behind the wheel of a Tesla, you're now Adolf.
All of that. And you end it with, I love Tesla. But you know what? It's an honest mistake. He just mixed up the 2 words most associated with Elon Musk, Tesla and Hitler.
Adam Schiff's whip, a Tesla. Now he says it's his biggest regret, not the Russia hoax, the car. Senator Mark Kelly's putting his Tesla up for sale. Democrats are like teenage girls. If they don't like you and you like something, then they can't like it. Even if they liked it before, now they have to hate it. Teslas are getting their tires slashed and spray painted with swastikas. And liberals are torching Tesla charging stations and hurling Molotov cocktails at dealerships. But the media says that Molotov cocktail was mostly peaceful.
Overnight, have this post claiming that protests at Tesla dealerships are illegal. He said today he would label violence against dealerships domestic terrorism. So just to be clear, you protest a private company, you are labeled by this administration a domestic terrorist. You show up at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th with the intent to overturn a fair and free election, and you get a pardon.
47 went green, bought an electric car. He's saving the planet. That's what they tell us. Nope. It made Chuck sick.
Just turns your stomach. at what they do to help one another. What do you think Americans think of that when they see Trump pushing Elon Musk, the richest man in the world's Teslas? A man born with a limousine, who for the rest of his life will be driven by Secret Service, was supposedly buying a new car and checking out his EV options. What a joke.
He turned the White House into a car show trying to help put a floor under the plummeting stock value of Elon Musk's Tesla.
You know what turns my stomach? Watching Schumer grill. An American president buys an American car that liberals love, and Democrats don't like it. Shady Kazakhstanis gave the vice president's son an electric car. He didn't like it, so he turned it in the same shady Kazakhstani bought him a Porsche. That didn't turn Chuck's stomach then, and neither did Joe flying Hunter to China and coming back with bags of cash. And Coons thinks it's suspect to turn the White House into a car show. The Wrangler Biden's promoting isn't even American. The Dutch own it. Obama and Biden let Jeep get sold overseas, and he's driving a foreign car around the White House lawn. During an EV summit, he invited every electric car maker except Tesla. Joe snubbed Musk, the largest EV maker in the world. And then he sued Musk for not hiring migrants. The Democrats and Musk had a bad breakup. You know how these are. They used to be in love.
We're going to try to see if we can accelerate this kind of collaboration through what we put forward. So
it's the right plan.
Good. Well, congratulations. This is terrific.
Thank you very much.
How's the car doing?
It's doing great, actually.
Yeah? And how do you split your time between car and rocket?
Well, it's usually about 50-50. We should have the sedan on the roads in 2 years. And it'll be the best car on the roads by far.
Musk didn't change. Democrats did. He's always believed in free speech and free enterprise. He didn't make his money shorting the pound like Soros so we could use it to open our border and prisons. He's making cars that liberals say save the planet and trying to put rockets on other planets. The progressives hate that Musk's making progress. And they hate that he's young and fun and not in the shadows like their sugar daddy Soros. Again, like a teenage girl, they blackballed Elon and then he became even more popular. And now they hate him, but they really hate themselves for losing him.
Forgive me, but what's his end game? I mean, I know look, he wants to be the first trillionaire in the world. I mean, what's his end game here?
Well, you know it. You guys, you created him, Governor. I mean, you
By
guys.
the way, in many respects, California did. It was our regulatory process and our subsidies to create this market. You're 100% right. I think you're right.
Democrats loaned Musk billions to make green cars, and he actually did it. Unlike all the other dumb loans Democrats gave out to all the green companies that went belly up, like Solyndra and Sonova and that stupid electric bus company that Kamala's always yapping about. All Democrats do once they get into power is hand wealthy people money. They bail out banks, give donors green contracts. But suddenly, some wealthy guys go into government to shut down the fraud and handouts, and the media's mad.
President Trump is surrounded by the wealthiest cabinet, the wealthiest administration in modern U.S. history. Does this concern you?
I don't think it's so much about their wealth.
I mean, you're only allowed to be wealthy in Congress. Can't be wealthy in the cabinet. We know how Elon made his money. How'd Nancy? Elon makes cars and rockets. What does Hunter make? No one wants his paintings now that Daddy's back in Delaware. What a coincidence. So it seems like the Democrats finally settled on a message to beat Trump. It's taken them long enough. Republicans are for the rich. Where have I heard that before? Oh, they've been saying it for 100 years. Maybe it used to work, but now the Democrats are the party of the rich. Billionaires donated more to Kamala than Trump. She outraised him 2-1, and he still cleaned her clock. Under Joe Biden, income inequality increased, and the Democrats and their shutdowns created the biggest transfer of wealth in world history. Zuckerberg, Musk, Bezos, Gates made more money under Biden than ever. And that's great. We're all for making money. It's just not great when the rest of the country can't get ahead. Liberals used to love these billionaires until they switched sides.
You guys you loved all the oligarchs, and particularly Elon, until they flipped. And remember, all the rest of these oligarchs were all progressive Democrats until 11 p.m.
I don't know if they're progressive. I refer to them as libertarian, and I know these guys intimately, known them for decades.
If Trump's doing all these favors for billionaires, why are the billionaires losing money under him? Well, because he's fighting a trade war to rebalance the economy to save the American worker. Elon has lost $100 billion since he teamed up with Trump. And he says it's worth it if he can stop the country from going bankrupt.
So it's a call to action. You're hearing a call to action.
Yeah.
You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah, I mean.
But there's no turning back, you're saying.
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient, eliminate waste and fraud, and so far we're making good progress.
The party's flipped. Democrats are for the rich. The Trump Republicans are for everybody. And that has the Democrats rattled. The America First movement forced Democrats into hating peace, progress, and making things in America. They're even against black kids with cancer who want to grow up to be cops.